Okay, so before we start this video, let's take a few moments to pray for Jeannie, okay? Because this TBR is crazy, okay? It is crazy. You know what? I'll just let you see for yourself with this video, and you tell me if you think your girl is crazy. Because you know what? Let's just get into the video. Hey page turners, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Glad to have you. Today's video is going to be my May TBR, my all the books I plan to read in May, my May to be read. If you're interested in seeing all the books I'm planning to read in May, then you may want to stick around because there's a lot of good ones in here, and there's a little mix of everything. So let's dive into this video. Okay guys, so I am even scared to share this with you, and I'm sure I'm not the only crazy one out there with all these plans, you know, in the month of May. I'm sure there's other crazy people like me that have these like huge TBRs for the 1 month. It's just too much. But you know what? I am excited about it, and I am super excited that I am going to be knocking out yet another series that I've been dying to read and haven't got to read it yet, and it's been like on my bookshelves for a long time. You know, I'm glad that now I get to show this series the love it deserves. So on this May TBR, there's a lot of stuff going on, okay? Like, if you thought your girl was random, this is just so random. This TBR is crazy. It's just, you know what? I have different tastes. I like different flavors, okay? So therefore, you should not expect my TBRs to just be like strictly one genre, because this is not that channel. In this channel, what I will be giving you is a little bit of everything. Then, you know what? Then you will have more to possibly read, right? So it's like a win-win type thing. Or it could be bad if you really think of it, because then that means you would be buying more books. However, I don't see that as a bad thing. Quite honestly, I see that as a good thing, you know? More like shopping therapy, you know? So you'll be good. Like I said, there's going to be a mix of everything. So you're going to get a little bit of YA fantasy in here, some romance, well, adult romance, and some historical fiction going on. For the most part, you're just going to get a lot of YA fantasy, okay? Let's just be real here. There's a lot of YA fantasy going on. So if you're interested in all of that, or if you've had interest in it and you're just not sure yet if you want to dabble into that genre, well, you know what? You came to the right place. So stick with your girl and let's dive into this video. So guys, before I dive into my main TBR, look who wants to say hi. It's Milo. Milo decided that he wants to join me in this video. Even though I don't know if it's such a good idea, but you know what? We'll try it, right? We'll try it. So my first rollover book that I didn't get to complete in April, and I plan to complete it this month, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I don't know why it's taking me so long to finish this, because I am enjoying it, but you know, whatever, right? I will finish it this month. I promise. Okay, guys. So Milo brought his toy to the living room. So just be prepared. You know, there just might be some noise. I hope not, though. But stick with me, because like I said, this TBR is a good one. So in this story, we are following Achilles, who is the best of the Greeks, and also Patroclus, something like that, okay? Who is like this awkward prince who was exiled from his homeland due to an act of violence that he committed. By chance, him and Achilles get to meet and they grow this inseparable bond. So then Helen of Sparta gets kidnapped and word gets out, and all the heroes of Greece decide that they're going to lay siege on Troy in her name. So Achilles, being who he is, he decides to join the cause. And of course, Patroclus decides to follow. So now, little do they know, the cruel fates will test them both and demand a terrible sacrifice. So I didn't get to finish this in April, but I will be finishing this in May. So let's see. My next rollover book is Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. Now, guys, I don't even know why I didn't finish this one because I was enjoying it. I just can't explain it. But anyways, to give you a little rundown about this book, this is the third book in the Brown Sister series, and we are now following Eve Brown, who happens to not really have her life put together. Like she's just like a disaster, right? Like she just doesn't know what she want to do with herself. And then one day she ends up messing up like this very important wedding. Because of that, her parents decide, you know what, you're cut off. We can't do this with you anymore. Until you learn to grow up, then maybe we will, give you your funding back. Because she comes from people of wealth. Eve comes across this health wanted. Okay. Eve comes across this help wanted ad and she decides to go in, and it's for like a chef position, I believe it was. And she decides to take a chance and see, because she feels like, hey, I could bake, so that applies to me. Even though I'm like, girl, how does just knowing how to bake and barely knowing how to bake at that lets you decide like, hey, if I could do that, then I can be a chef at like a hotel? Like, what? I don't know how that adds up, but your girl Eve thinks that it does. So we're gonna roll with it. So when Eve goes to apply to this job, she meets Jacob Wing, who happens to be this control freak, and he likes to have everything in place, and he got his life together because, your boy is actually the owner. So then what happens is he sees Eve. He's like, hell no, you cannot work here. You all over the place. Things happen where she's kind of like, she feels guilty and she wants to help out. Even though Jacob doesn't really care for Eve, you could kind of see where that's going, where it'll end up possibly being a romance there. So far, the little bit that I did read, I did enjoy, and I cannot wait to dive back into this one and complete it in May. My next rollover from April is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I don't know what it was with this one, guys, but it just took me forever. And mind you, it's not that big of a book. I don't know if it was because I really just want to dive back into the regular world, because this is, a book of 5 novellas that kind of explain certain things that we're missing throughout the book. I don't know, guys, but you know what? I plan to finish this in May. My little quiet. Okay. Can I start? Okay, so now going into the official May TBR. Even though that's official too, because I plan on finishing them in May. So one of the books I plan to read in May is The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Kloon. In this one, we are following Linus Baker, who happens to be a caseworker for the department in charge of magical youth. He is then like summoned by the higher ups to go to an orphanage by the sea. And when he arrives there, he is greeted by a mysterious figure. And the greatest mystery of all is Parnassus? Arthur Parnassus. Listen, okay, Arthur P, okay, because that last name is really messing with me. So Arthur, who happens to be the master of the orphanage. So Linus discovers that Arthur would do anything to keep the children of the orphanage safe, even if it means that the world has to burn, or worse, that his secret comes to light. So this one sounds so good, and you know, it's supposed to be like a love story, enchanted, mystery, intrigue, magical, and I am here for it, and I am so excited to be getting into this one. This one was actually the book club read in my Discord group, Journey Through Pages, and I am so excited to be reading this with my friends in there. So the next book I plan to read in May is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one is the second book club read in my Discord group, and I am super stoked about reading this one too, because I have been meaning to read it for a while now, and now I get to read it with all my friends, which makes it so much better. So in this one, we are following Evelyn Hugo, who happens to be a Hollywood icon. And she ends up getting to a point in her life where she wants to tell her scandalous stories and the glamour of her lifestyle. So she chooses an unknown magazine reporter, Monique Grant. So Monique is also astounded, but yet fascinated by Evelyn Hugo's life. So Monique gets to experience the stories that Evelyn tells her, from her making her way up into Los Angeles in the 1950s to her leaving show business in the 1980s. And she also gets to find out about her 7 husbands. So this one is a historical fiction. You will aspire to be Evelyn Hugo because she's like this relentless fighter, and yet she's an icon. And I cannot wait to find out more about Evelyn Hugo and her life story. So the next book I am reading in May is City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. As some of you may or may not know, I am planning on finishing this series this year. At least if I'm not able to get to the full-blown series, then I want to at least tackle the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices. City of Glass is also part of a series buddy read or read along that I have going on in my Discord group as well. So there's not really much I can say about this, being that it's the 3rd book in the Mortal Instruments series. So I will let you either watch my video where I kind of explain the synopsis. I am very excited about continuing on in this series, and I'm super excited that I'm up to the 3rd one. Another series we are doing in my Discord group, because we're a little crazy like that, is A Court of Mist and Fury. So this is part of, you know, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I can't really say much about this book neither, because it is the 2nd book in the series. But we are still following Farah, and we are going to be experiencing the aftermath of everything that happened in the 1st book. This one is a reread for me. As you can see, I have old tabs, and I'm actually pretty excited about this one because it's like my favorite one so far in the series. That's exactly why you can see on my shelf that it's missing. It's like a big chunk out of my shelf. But yeah, I'm super excited to continue this with my friends in my Discord group. And yeah, we're just having a ball in there. If you're interested in joining, the link is down below. Like, join us. Make a Discord. Come, we are so cool. We're like family in there. I love them. So now let's dive into some buddy reads that I got going on with my girls. and some of my other friends in the Bookstagram community. Me and my two homegirls, Alexandra and Sabrina. Hey girls. Love you guys. We're a little crazy, okay? We got so much buddy reads going on together, and one of the ones that we decided to do is Fallen Kingdom by Morgan Rhode. I was so excited about joining them with this one because this one has been on my shelf for ages. I am like so happy to finally be diving into this world, experiencing it, and reading it with my friends. And the crazy thing is that we're reading a book a week. If you do the math, that means 4 books in the month. Book 2, Rebel Spring. This is what we're going to be reading next week. Then, book 3, Gathering Darkness, is what we're going to be reading on the 3rd week of May. Then, book 4, Frozen Tides, on the last week of May. We a little crazy up in there, okay? Like, me and my girls, we just crazy. Look, this is how big the book would be. Like, this is insane. But you know what? I'm glad that I get to be a little crazy with my friends. And that I found friends that are as crazy as I am. But yes, we are reading all of this in May. That's the plan. So I guess you'll find out next month if we were able to do it. With the same girls that I am buddy reading the Fallen Kingdom series, I am also buddy reading with them House of Hollows by Crystal Sutherland. Can we just take a moment to just gush over the beauty that is this cover? Like, oh, look, I could do something like, you know, like you'd be seeing on Bookstagram that they'll put the book, even though I don't know if that's working out, but I don't know. I guess I gotta look that up and see how it's done. So in this one, we are following Iris Hollow and her 2 sisters. So something happened to Iris and her sisters when they were children, where when they came back, they had no recollection of what happened, and they came back with identical half moon scars. So with all of that came this notion that they're pretty weird, right? Or like they're just strange. And Iris is trying to do everything that she can to fit in. However, when her older sister Gray goes missing, Iris starts to realize that this is part of her life and it's only going to possibly get weirder. The closer that Iris tries to get to the truth is the closer that she starts understanding more about herself, and that the answer is actually dark and dangerous. Yes, I am excited, as you can see, and I cannot wait to start this one. And actually, we will be starting it soon. Another buddy read that I have been doing with one of my friends in my Discord group is Petals on the Wind by VC Andrews. In case you have not seen my April TBR video in which I started reading this with her and we read Flowers in the Attic together, now this one is the 2nd book. So if you know anything about Flowers in the Attic, you know that in that one we are following Kathy and her brother Christopher and their 2 siblings, in which they are locked up in an attic due to their mom trying to gain her father's affection again and inherit the money that comes with it because he's dying. However, the children didn't realize that with all of that was going to come a lot of bad and evil, and one being their wicked grandmother. So I'm excited to continue finding out Kathy's story and where it all went after the attic. So the next book I will continue buddy reading with one of my friends in May is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. In this one, I'm not going to be able to tell you much about it neither because this is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series. I am so excited about diving into this one, but I still have to finish the Assassin's Blade. I need to make sure that I finish that one because I am dying to go back into this one, in case you didn't hear me the first time. So my friend did tell me it would be better if I did finish the Assassin's Blade before getting into this one, because there's some stuff that this one explains that it's gonna come up in this one. So I have to hurry up and finish this because I really want to read this already. But yes, this one I am super excited about diving back into this current world, not the past world, but the current world, and find out what happened, because the way Heir of Fire left off, I need to know, okay? I need to keep on finding out. So another book I'm buddy reading with one of my friends is The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. I can't really say much about this one either, because it is the third book in the Folk of Air series, or as some people may know it as the Cruel Prince series. Guys, I am really enjoying this world, and I am excited about finishing off this series. One series that I could check off in my reading journal. So I am super excited that I am finally finishing this one, and I can't wait to find out what happens with Jude in this one, because the way it left off and that the Wicked King, whew. But you know, I have faith in Jude because that's my girl right there. So another buddy read that I am excited about, hopefully, possibly, finally finishing in the month of May, is Six of Crows by Les Bardugo. So this one is a reread for me. I am very excited about continuing in this world and possibly finally in June reading Crooked Kingdom, because I have not got to that one because I'm a little scared of what's gonna happen. Me and my friend we finally have a goal to finish this one in May. So let's see. So another book I plan to read during one of my readathons in my Discord group is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. So in this story, we are following Amari Peters, whose brother happens to go missing, and she's wondering why is nobody, like really investigating it. Why are they making it seem like it's not important? Then Amari discovers a briefcase that her brother left her that was meant for her eyes only, in which she finds out that her brother has left her a nomination for a summer trial at the secretive Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. Amari feels that by her going to this secret society type place, that she will also find out what happened to her brother, where is he, and what's going on. So I've seen this book circulating all over the place and has gotten such great praise, and it's a middle grade fantasy, and I am super excited about reading it because it sounds so amazing and so much fun, and I can't wait to meet Amari and try to find out about her and her brother and what's going on in that secret society. Another book I plan to read in May is The Lord's Apothecary by Sarah Penner. So in this one, we are diving into 18th century London, where there's this little shop that caters to a specific kind of clientele. So Nella, who happens to be the person that owns the shop, makes these well-disguised poisons for the oppressive men in these women's lives. However, when a young 12-year-old, Eliza, comes into Nella's shop, she is like, girl, you're too young. This is not that type of world for you. But their unexpected bond starts to spark, and with that comes a string of consequences. Now, fast forward to 200 years later, we are following Caroline, who happens to come across one of the vials. Caroline finds out that this vial that she found actually belongs to a case of unsolved apothecary murders, and she also finds out that she is actually linked to Nella and Eliza in some way. So guys, this one, as you can see, I got through my book of the month box, and I am excited about reading this. I mean, it just sounds so good. I have really been wanting to read more historical fiction, and especially like historical fiction with fantasy. I've come to realize after reading Addie LaRue that I enjoy those kind of books. So I'm pretty sure I just might enjoy this one because it sounds amazing and right up my historical fiction, newly loving fantasy. So, okay, so we have 2 more books left on this long TBR, guys. So I think this one is book 19, 20. I don't know. I lost count, but I am super excited about reading The Kite Runner by Khalid Husseini. I hope I said that right. So in this one, we are following a wealthy boy who forms this unlikely friendship with the son of his father's servant. The synopsis doesn't really say too much, but in this one, it's a powerful story of friendship, the power of reading, the price of betrayal, and the possibility of redemption. So this sounds so good, and I've heard so many good things about it, and I cannot wait to read this one. It's also a historical fiction and another one from my book of the month. Also, just a little side note, I am not sponsored by Book of the Month. I am a subscriber to them and I get a lot of their books. Okay, last but not least is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I didn't get to mention it when I got it, but this was actually a gift from someone. But I wanted to give a warm thank you to the person that got me this. I'm going to read you the little card or whatever you want to call this. It says, "Happy new channel. I bought this book when I visited the Dachau." I hope I said that right. I always say that. Concentration camp memorial, and it's so haunting. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. From a grateful viewer. And guys, that meant so much to me because this book was purchased on March 12th, and literally that was like a week or a week. Okay, Jeannie. A week or two after I made my channel. I wish I knew who it was. So if you're watching my video still, please let me know if it was you who bought this, because it just made me so emotional. Like right now, I'm still feeling those feelings just talking about it. I was not expecting anything. Like, I kid you not, guys. Like, I have my wish list linked below. And, you know, I know that a lot of times viewers will get something for, you know, the person doing the channel, the booktuber. But me being a new booktuber, I was not expecting anything. So when I got this, especially so fresh and new into booktube, it just means a lot to me, and I will cherish this book because it's like, I don't even know. I just know that it means so much to me that somebody took the time to get a book from my wish list that I am very excited to read. And yeah, so let me tell you a little bit more about The Book Thief. So I don't know too much about this one, but I do know it's a historical fiction in the 1930s. It takes place around the time of Nazi Germany. The character that we are following, I think his name is Lysel. I know that he ends up hiding a Jewish man. Him having the Jewish man hidden, I think in his basement? Yeah, in his basement. It like opens up his mind to two things, but as well as also possibly causing problems, and who knows, right? Like maybe even facing death. The reason I became so fascinated with this one is because I was always pretty much into the history of, you know, the Nazis and the Jewish people. And the first time I started learning about like Nazis and what the Jewish people went through, it just made me want to know more. And that was around the time when I want to say in middle school. I don't remember what grade. So that would be anywhere from the 6th to 8th grade here in the United States. And since then, I've always been like wanting to find out more, and I did a whole research paper at that time. And this one has been recommended, and I am so thankful again that my grateful viewer purchased this as a gift for me. It just sounds so amazing. And I've heard that it's like very influential and compelling, and it just might leave you broken. And I don't know, reading things that leave me broken have been a thing lately. So I don't know, guys. I just might have masochistic tendencies with books. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means so much to me that this book was bought for me, and it will kind of be like my little reminder, you know, like of my YouTube channel. Guys, just so you know, some of these books that I'm reading, I will be also pairing it with audiobooks, so that will help me read through it even when I'm not able to read, like when I'm walking my dogs. I will be using my Scrib app a lot, okay? Well, for whatever books they do have on there, because I also have the Libby app, and I know they have some books on there, so I already borrowed like 3 of these books from there. So yeah, I'm crazy, but I do have a little plan behind that, okay? So let's see. I can't wait to share next month the books that I did get to read and my thoughts on them. And also let me know what you plan on reading this month. Is your TBR as crazy as mine? If so, let me know in them comments down below, because you know your girl loves to hear it. And we can, you know, be book crazy together. Maybe even exchange and recommend some of these books that we're reading this month. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. And especially hit that like button for your girl, and comment down below, because that helps so much. You don't even know. Yeah, guys, that is the end of this video. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and bye.